Now that we've created our first tray with some models on it, I want to take a few minutes and walk you through the various things we can do in GrabCAD Print. I'm going to start here. As we've already seen, we can add models using this button. Down here we see our tray. If I click here, I can add another tray and I can prepare it for printing as well. I can also right click on this tray and rename it, or I can delete the tray. So I'm going to delete my tray and I'll go back to my active tray here. If I right click on one of my parts, I can also hide it and choose not to print it. So it shows here the part's hidden. So if I click on this, it will show it. And it's now moved it off of the print tray. So I'm going to drag it back on. When I release it, the red lines will go away and it'll tell me it is printable. In the bottom left-hand corner, we see our triad to show us our X, Y, and Z axis. And then if I wanted to schedule the job, I could click here, or if I wanted to view a history of what jobs have happened on that printer, I can go here. From the File drop-down menu, we can create new projects or open an existing project, save the project, export and import files, etc. We can edit and undo or copy and paste models. We can change our view here. And these show us the keyboard shortcuts to select that view. Or if I go to the apps, I can send the part to Stratus and they'll 3D print it and bill me for it. The other option I have here is to launch another software there's called Insight. We're not going to get into that because none of our printers can take advantage of Insight. And here we have our standard help menu. As I move across the top, I can choose my various views. I can add a perspective view, and I can show or hide supported surfaces. I can fit the models to the screen, or I can fit a selected model to the screen, or I can fit the tray to the screen. On the right side, here we see our models. We use this option if there's errors in the model to detect and repair them. We'll do that in our next lab. And then next, I want to create a slice preview. So I'm going to click on it. And it's going to take a bit of time to slice through the model and build the preview. As soon as it's done, I see lots of useful information here. So I'm going to zoom in on my tray by rolling my middle mouse wheel. And what we'll notice is the support material shown in this orangey brown color, and the model material is shown in the green. The yellow color is the seam. And what it's telling me right now is I'm currently showing layer 44 of 89 layers and how many head moves out of 3,686 there has been. I can play the animation. So here it's going to show me how it'll be built layer by layer. I'll just pause the animation there. I can also come over here and select a layer to see what my parts will look like on any layer. So if I go down to the bottom, you'll see first it prints a layer of regular model material. Then I'll move up to layer 2, and then it does a layer of support material. This will allow you to easier break it free from the tray. And then if I go up to layer 3, again, support. So we're going to do a few layers of support. And you can see how the support is changing. And then now we're going to start to actually get the model that will break away from the support. The slider across the bottom will show the moves for that layer. So here I can see the order. The print head will move around in the XY axis at this Z level, and printing the material and what material gets printed in what order. So we can see first it printed all the support, and now it's printing the material. The other important thing we can see here are the gaps. Here's where the material couldn't get to based on how it was designed. And these are things we're going to look at when we design for 3D printing in more detail as we go through the course. So again, I can play the animation. I can pause it at any level. I can select the level over here. And this will become important later. We could pause it here. This will allow me to insert an object into my printer. And again, we'll look at this much later. So next, I'm going to exit the previewer. Go back to just my model. If I come down here, I can see I'm working in millimeter units. Okay. Next are the tray settings. So I'll select this. And what we have here is our layer thickness. So in this case, each layer will be 10 thou. That's the default setting for this printer unless I buy a different print nozzle. So I can expand the more details or collapse it. Here I see what material is currently loaded into my printer. Here it tells me the tip, and then what my support material is, and the tip size again. Below the tray settings are the model settings. Here I can select the infill style of the part for the body. Next I'll select the face tab. If I select this face, I can see it's a planar face. This one tells me it's cylindrical. Here I get the diameter from it. If I select this face, again I can see it's cylindrical and I can see the diameter. So I can choose the various faces and get some basic information from them. From the body, I can establish the infill style. If I switch this model, I can switch its infill style. Next, we can see the support settings. So I currently have this model selected, so I'm dealing with the support for it. If I switch to this model, I'm dealing with the support for it. And I can choose from the drop-down menu Smart, Basic, or Surround, and all of these will be discussed as we work through our course. I also have the ability to tell it to use model material as support rather than support material. And here we set the self-supporting angle. Again, all this will be discussed as we work through the course. Next, I can arrange the tray. Below that, I can reorient my parts. And these will be gone through in more detail as we do more labs. And lastly, I can scale my model. And here I can add some manufacturing notes as need be. In the next video, we'll look at how to get some estimates from this and how to send it to the printer.